keeps getting weird.
Hi everyone, it's me, Dr. Whimsy, and this is my other channel, Broke Aristocrats, where I share basic tips on how to live healthy and happy without breaking the bank. A little bit different than some of the other frugal channels because we do focus a lot on optimal health, though we do cover some of the other topics as well. One of the reasons why I got inspired to do this channel was because I really love frugal living. I love living the simple life. I love living below my means. But I was pretty disturbed by some of the other channels, what I was seeing in terms of the grocery hauls, the food the people were consuming, which was really unhealthy. And I think there's a lot of myths about eating healthy, and one of the myths is that people have to be millionaires to eat nutritious, healthy food. So today I asked my roommate and fellow broke aristocrat, Amanda. Amanda's a nurse. She's also very much involved in living simply and frugally, and I asked if she would have a tea time with me today. It's Sunday, it's Easter, we're taking the day off, and we're talking about all things frugal and living healthy. If you were going to give advice to somebody who's watching the channel who wants to not compromise their health, but they were trying to get out of debt, they're trying to pay off student loans, live frugally, but they don't have a lot of money, what would your advice be?
My advice would be don't waste anything. And that sounds really kind of obvious. It's like, well, don't waste anything. Well, duh. But actually, when you think about it, we actually waste a lot of food.
Why do you think people waste so much food?
I think a lot of people don't even think about it. And, you know, a lot of people also, I mean, who likes leftovers? People want to eat something different every day.
How important do you think planning meals is to keeping people's budgets affordable?
That is actually absolutely crucial, and that also prevents the wasting of food.
Do you want to talk a little bit about how together we planned this week's food budget and how we were able to save money and eat a healthful, nutritious, balanced diet on probably, I would say, less than even what I'm seeing on other channels?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you tell people what meals we planned for this week and how we did it. I'll let you go ahead and do that.
Well, and you know, actually for the ones that I cooked, I actually didn't plan. I just took what was already basically lying around, and I maybe had to get one or two things from the store, and that was it. So, but basically what we were able to do was we got one chicken. How many pounds was that chicken?
We bought a very large chicken. I don't know how many pounds. It was probably about 3 pounds. I mean, okay. Is that possible? I mean, it was a very large chicken.
Yeah.
I think I paid $8.50. It was very high quality.
Right.
It was not organic, but it was a very high quality. And what did we do with that?
We basically used it to make, and my first calculation was off. It was actually, we used it to make 14 meals.
14 meals from one chicken. And that's because we don't make meat the center part of our diets. That's not healthy. And we don't eat processed foods. We don't make processed foods. We try to make everything from scratch. Most of what we eat is plant-based. We're not 100% plant-based. We're at about 80% or more plant-based, with animal products making up about 10 to 20% of the calories we consume in this house. So what did we do with our one chicken?
Well, let's start off with your meals because you started first. So I'll let you go ahead and talk about yours, and then we'll talk about mine.
Okay, so for meal number one with the chicken, and this is going for 2 people, but you could easily do it for 4, 5, 6, or 10,
right,
depending upon how large your household is. So if it's just 2 people, then that's 1 large roasting chicken. So for meal number one, we did a roasted chicken that was marinated in a balsamic dressing, which I made from olive oil, balsamic vinegar, garlic, oregano, rosemary, and some lemon juice. That was marinated and roasted with potatoes, carrots, and onions. That was meal number one. And then what happened to our chicken?
And I mean, we still had a lot of chicken left.
It's a big chicken.
Yeah, I know. And it looked like we really had hardly touched it. We had a lot of chicken and a lot of potatoes left in that bowl. So meal number 2,
we separated everything out.
right, but meal number 2 was actually you again.
Again, I made chicken cacciatore. I did that with a can of chopped organic tomatoes. $1.75 I paid for that. We had some linguine. We had some of those peppers and onions. I can't remember the name of those peppers that I absolutely love.
Poblano, I think.
Pompanos. We have them organic on sale. I've been buying a lot of them lately. I made a cacciatore. I took some of the chicken and I made a cacciatore from that. How was the cacciatore?
Delicious.
Oh, thank you very much. We served that with a large green salad. We're able to save money on our greens because we wash and bag it ourselves, and so you're able to pay a half or a third what you would pay if you had someone else bag it. We don't do that. We buy all of our greens ourselves. We clean it, we spin it, we put it in bags, and then we reuse those bags. We wash them, we turn them inside out because we don't. That isn't just to save money, it's because we want to be an environmentally conscious household. So that was meal number 2.
Right.
All these came with leftovers, by the way, so we had leftovers.
Right, we had leftovers of meal number 2.
And we had leftovers of meal number 1. The following day I had chicken.
Right.
Okay, so
after that, there was still
chicken.
Yet more chicken. This was actually the last use of the chicken. So I was really craving some tacos.
That was not the last use of, well, okay, it was.
Yeah, but not because, you know what, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so I was really craving tacos. The only thing that we really needed that we didn't already have were the corn tortillas, which I divided up. I put half of them in the freezer and half of them I used, and those were $1.19, by the way.
Okay.
So we had half of $1.19 that went toward our meal, and leftovers, because we ate that, and then we had leftovers of that as well. The other thing that other two things that I got were cilantro, which was 50 cents.
Lime. And we had
lime.
Yeah.
And lime. And I only used half of the cilantro because half of it went into the vegetarian dish. So those were the only things that I needed to get because I was craving tacos and I wanted to utilize what we already had available. So that is something, you know, it forces you to be kind of creative sometimes when you just have to use what you have lying around.
And then you made us breakfast. What'd you make us for breakfast?
Okay, so breakfast, I wanted to use the rest of the potatoes because I had
We had potatoes and carrots, remember, from the roast. So what did you do with the potatoes?
I had used I was cleaning out the bowl and I had used all the chicken. And I just noticed there were so many potatoes left and I did not want to throw those away. So I wanted to think of some way to utilize those potatoes. So I made them into breakfast potatoes.
So she made hash.
I had some chicken sausage from a meal that I'd made a few weeks ago in the freezer. So I utilized the chicken sausage that I already had, as well as the potatoes, as well as the poblano pepper that we already had, as well as onion, which we already had, garlic, which was already here.
Right, so that got us to the 80-20 rule, 90-10. I think we were at about 8. And then for dinner last night, we did vegetarian. We had chana dal. That was a chickpea curry. And
delicious.
Thank you. And we are big on potatoes, so we did a potato cauliflower curry. And what did we use up the rest of with that dish? I think we had some. Oh, and then we used our greens. We had a salad with it.
Oh yeah, that salad was amazing.
Oh, thank you very much. We had a good salad.
Actually, and also too, sidebar, that fed 3 of us.
Yeah, we had
and
a guest
one of
over.
us that really counts as like 4 people because he's
friend,
like this big around and he eats like a horse.
Well, he's doing intermittent fasting. Which
well, not only he's a vegan too, but
yeah.
like
we had a vegan dinner last night.
I just wish I could be like as skinny as he is.
Well, he's doing intermittent fasting, and actually I'm going to do a review on intermittent fasting, both for this channel and also for Dr. Whimsy, because I think there's some real legitimate science to intermittent fasting, and so I am going to cover the pros and cons from a scientific perspective, but that's not this video. So that was it, and I think that we are below, I think I think we're dramatically below budget this month. I had budgeted $250 for one person for a mostly organic, mostly plant-based diet, and then I had to drop it to $200 because I realized I had over budgeted. And I will probably not even spend $200 this month because we swap back and forth every time.
Sharing your resources really stretches them.
And I think that we're both going to be under $200 this month because we simply look at what we have and then we build from there, and we look and we continue to build our future shopping based on doing an assessment of what we already have, whether it's a leftover or something else. And we try to stick to the 80. I think we're doing really well on 80-20.
Yeah.
I think we have.
It saves money too. It saves money and it's healthier.
Right.
And being healthier actually saves you money too.
Right.
Because then you don't have the medical expenses.
And we cook from scratch, and we don't eat anything prepackaged. We don't bring Coca-Cola or any, not that there's anything wrong with it, but we just don't bring that stuff home, whether it's generic or not. If we want to have a nice drink, we'll have a cup of tea. We do invest in good quality coffee because we're broke aristocrats. If you're going to spend money on something, have it be something you truly love.
Yes.
For us, it's gourmet coffee.
Your one treat.
You have to give yourself things that bring you joy. For us, it's gourmet coffee and good tea.
For sure.
So we want to thank you for watching. I know in the future I'll ask Amanda to come and speak again on Broke Aristocrats. But basically, we have a lot of fun in our house, and we hope you enjoyed listening, and we will continue to share our tips for how to live healthy and responsibly. Please don't buy prepackaged junk. No. The only thing packaged that we buy, well, we break down with pasta. We
right.
But we've found some really good healthy pastas as well. We've incorporated, like you had what, chickpea pasta she brought in.
Yes, and it had high protein too.
Yeah. But for the most part, we are rice, beans, and whole. For an animal products, we try to go with
the highest quality.
The highest quality. If you can't afford organic, then we always tell people to try and just avoid the dirty dozen. You know, do your best. Just do your best. All right. Thanks for watching, and thanks for having our tea time with us. And we will talk to you again soon. Peace out.